get the record instantly, as well on the fuel log. So that is a one layer of tools that remote workforce or the people who are on the field, you drivers, operators, they could anyway use it. And whenever the information is submitted, it comes back in backend immediately. So the cloud system ensures that information is coming in real time. What you see on top, those are the core maintenance management process. So the mechanic, technician, supervisor, they are fully equipped to conduct the inspection, variety of information. They have very detailed scheduling and run the entire maintenance flow. So I will take you to heavy vehicle inspection. So this is, if you would like to browse at your site, heavyvehicleinspection.com. And the product is exposed with all possible interfaces. So you could access with any laptop or desktop, including browsers, Chrome, IE, Firefox, and then as well the Android and iOS platform, which means any Android tablet or phone devices, iPhone or iPad. So that all is like the interfacing for user. In the backend, we have a secure Microsoft and Google platform, so that enable that information move from one device to other in real time. And these devices are, you could install these apps simply from the iTunes and the Google Play Store. Now to run the demo, I would log into the portal. So you click on this purple icon, go to portal, and that will bring us to this home screen. Now what you see on my screen is the web portal, as I said, that can be used from any laptop, desktop. There is no software required on the machine. You just open a web browser. If you have internet, the system will open up. Now in this system, what we see on the left side, we have the core functionality navigation window. On the top, we have multilingual support. So based on the user language, the system gives them a localization experience. And then the base detail about the logged in user. So now if we look at this, to make it really simple, I would run through a simple flow. What it means, let's an operator or a field person, if he would do an inspection, how it would come through. So we're gonna do that in a moment. To start with, if we see how the step one would move their machinery on the platform. So there is an option to upload your existing spreadsheet file where you have your machine details, and then it can simply bring that information in the system. Or one could manually as well input the new vehicle and then put the fine details as per the machinery. Or in bulk, we could just bring a spreadsheet. Once you have the machinery, the second step comes that how would you like to schedule that? So setting up the future inspection schedules and maintenance schedules. Now this is something when we do with the paper or a spreadsheet, it's quite an effort to ensure that everybody is in sync, that when the machine is expected to be in maintenance or inspection, and if there are changes, people know it upfront. So this module provides the feature that one could schedule their machinery to future dated inspections. So for example, excavator, every 250-hour inspection, 1,000-hour inspection, 2,000-hour inspection, or for a bus, which is like every 10,000 miles inspection. So that information can be detailed here. For example, if we do every 5,000 mile inspection, when we include certain items, that these items would need to be done in that 5,000 mile maintenance inspection. And then we define that what frequency this maintenance should be done. So those items enable it, and then it will automatically repeat it. While I will display my Android device, I would be displaying those app notifications. So what this would do on the day inspection, one would receive an Android Ryzen device notification that will have the base detail of the schedule. And once the user tap on it, it will directly take them to the job work. Now, once we have the inspection, we have our machinery, user would do an inspection or run a work order. So if we assume that there is a maintenance inspection is conducted, the information immediately comes to the portal. And all the information is maintained in that record. So this is one of the inspections which is being submitted either by Android or iPhone, maybe operator driver or technician, whoever is doing the inspection. It brings the entire document and clearly identifies if there are any maintenance needs indicated. So for example, in this process, they indicated 4 different components which require maintenance. Now we do have the entire report here to download and print it, so which would go in a PDF document. I would go ahead and click on the document. What we see here is each item is indicated, and then it has the underlying detailing on that. But then it as well enables the person to create a work order utilizing this information. And this process we would do while we will run this entire flow. We will create an inspection record from the Android device. We'll see how it appears here, and then we'll move on to create a work order. So on the work order section, we got, as I said, we could convert an inspection document directly into a work order, or if we directly want to do ad hoc, this would be a typical maintenance work order. So one would select a machinery from the list, and then we can identify what items we need to be repairing. So this is like creating a new maintenance work order or a job card that will have tracking for each and every item, and of course the entire work order label tracing. The consumed part inventory, so which is a spare parts inventory, one could directly utilize their parts based on the costing. It will come in the system, and then it will create a new work order. So a fairly quick process. This is a example work order which is already in system. We have option to download these maintenance work orders for the printed record keeping. So overall, what I summarized, 3 core functions: maintaining the inventory with the equipment and the spare parts, and which have variety of options to maintain them. There is a very detailed scheduling, which is based on the meter reading. So for example, if per hour basis or maybe miles, kilometers, and then it can set the schedules. And the third component is on the work order. Daily process to record a job work, maintain the entire history. Now what's more important is that each and every field here is filterable. So if I'm looking a work order, if I just remember the vehicle number, I can just filter out based on the machinery. So if I just type JCB I'm only interested what all is done on all the JCB machines, gonna just filter them out. I have additional more, so each and every parameter is filterable. If I continue doing that, I'll be refining the information as I want. And this feature is across the portal. That means each and every information, be it in the inventory, or inspection, work orders, any part, it can be filtered in that manner. Now what you see here, view remark. This is also a very valuable feature when we conclude a work order or maintenance job. Sometimes it is very helpful to put some storyline, that what went behind the work order, if there are any additional notes, and that stays with the machinery. So even after, let's say after 2 years, you're doing a maintenance work, and if you would like to go back in the history of that machinery, it will certainly help them to quickly walk through that. Now beyond those three things, I would quickly go through, would not put so much detail on that, but these components where one would create the other information. So this is administrator portal where we could create IDs for our technicians, supervisors, for management, or for the operators. And they could directly use the same portal. Typically, one could put their mobile number as a user ID, so they will collect that and give them a password. And they should be able to log in. They can download the apps from Open Play Store. And when they put their user credentials, they would be able to connect with the platform. So at this point, I would take you to the phone, which is my Android device. And what we would do is I would display the Android mobile app. And we would create a quick sample record. So I'll go ahead and share my screen, which is a mobile screen. So as you see here, this is my Android app. And on the app, you would see pretty much similar information. All those features which are available on the portal, they are on the mobile app in the 6 clear layouts. In this case, I would like to do an inspection. So I would click on the inspection. It would take me to the possible type of inspection. At the lower panel, you see history. What it means, if I go based on the vehicle history, for any given machinery, I can select and see how many inspections are done. In each inspection, if there are any items which need attention. So if there are any replacement, repairs done, we would be able to see them. So this feature kind of helps us how the past inspections has been on the particular machine. Or we have a general inspection history, that what are the past inspections being conducted. Now I would go ahead and create a new inspection, and then I'll take the third option, which is inspection with a picture. So we are at the step 1 of conducting the inspection. And in general, we see the username. So I will go ahead and select a machinery, or we could do a scanning of barcode. I take this Caterpillar. Or we can select any machinery from our list. So it's and now we will update the recent meter reading, which could be based on hours, miles, or kilometers. And then comes our process, where we have variety of checklist available. For example, if we talk about excavator, based on your industry type and how you conduct your maintenance, you can have these. Right? And that is very much how you run your maintenance. You go predictive maintenance, planned maintenance, or just the break fix maintenance. Those checklists can be maintained based on that. So here I will take, let's say, 2000 hour checklist, and I would say it's a maintenance service. So this checklist requires 3 items to be checked, how they are doing. If you see those arrow icons are grayed out, which indicate that, those items haven't been inspected yet. So I'll go in the item 1. I'll select it. Now here I have opportunity to attach an existing picture if I have already done a walkthrough and then I'm recording the information, or if I'm doing while I'm inspecting, then I can just take a picture. So in my case, I will just go ahead and engage my camera, and I got a car. So I'll just go ahead and take the picture, and now I have the opportunity to say OK or retry. I say it's OK. But do you want to edit the image? So of course, sometimes it is helpful if you want to indicate certain items, and I would do that. So I've just attached a picture related to this item, and I'll say done. I take the second item, I mark it as a replacement item. I take the third item and mark it as repair and task. In both cases, I have opportunity to put the detailed notes. And with the speech-to-text feature, one could simply put a record. So which is kind of handy when we are in the field and trying to put the inspection. Of course, my screen is shared, so I wouldn't be able to use the microphone more than one. But in general, it would do that. After that, I would do done. And then its inspection is almost ready to continue. Now, this is the overall summary at the end of inspection, where we summarize how the overall machinery condition is. As this is being an OSHA requirement that if your machinery is, the driver and operator has opportunity to indicate that in his thought it is safe to drive, or if they flag it, they get opportunity to indicate that this is not safe to use. And if they have more information, they could tag it that what kind of priority they see on the item, and then go ahead and submit the record with the user signature. So at this point, we are in completion of inspection. We correlate this process. In general, the record detailing and submitting 5 minutes. The operator or the person who is doing actual inspection on the ground, his time would stay same, but technology took additional 2-3 minutes to record. But in comparison, if you do the same effort, record it on a paper, put it in a spreadsheet, go back and do that, it's a much more cumbersome work. So here we have the final inspection document generated. The picture that we took is there. Both the items are there. And at this time, we would like to send this information. So every 5 minutes, our system automatically picks the information. And this is to ensure that the battery is not drained because of continuous sync. But for our demo, I will go ahead and sync it for now. So as you see my screen, it's indicating with a timer that it's in the process and the information is synced on our portal. Now before I go back on my portal back and evaluate this inspection document, I would like to also notice that if you look at my screen notification window, what it is indicating is a very valuable information. Because in general, the people who are engaged to do their day-to-day work. They do not have to keep a tally that what they need to be doing. For example, if there are future dated schedules for inspection or job work, the very morning operator should be receiving a notification, and that would take them directly to the inspection item. That feature simplifies the process. For example, we see a machinery P4567 has an inspection schedule, likewise the other machineries have. One would tap on the inspection and it would take them to the document. So that's the notification process. Now I'll go back to the web portal. So we are back on our portal. Now here the latest record is 1091. We would update that. And now we see another record just came at 151. When you look at that, these are the two items that we just inspected. And we took a picture of Disney cars, and that you could see here. So the information immediately synced back to the cloud system. What it enables that whoever is responsible to review that information, they do that information in real time, and it identifies the information which need action. So it indicates that these two items need to be reviewed. Now the person has opportunity to directly create a work order. And this is where the technology simplifies the process. Once the information is entered in the system, it makes it fairly simple to continue the process and keeping the entire document chain for everyone to read. So I'll click on the create work order. And as you see, all the information is pre-populated. It has the work order number, it has the attached inspection report number, it has the machinery detailing, it has the detailing coming here, and as well what needs to be repaired, what needs to be replaced. So it's a one-click process to create a maintenance work order. I would say create work order, and if you would like to play with the priorities, one could do that, or simply create the work order. So work order created successfully. So we will go ahead and check in the new work order. Go ahead and start looking at the records. This is the machinery that we are talking. And if I click on that work order, this is the same work order that we looked at. Here we have our list of our users who would be working, so it kind of helps to track the entire flow of doing the job work. Now what the information does is that it helps the people to keep the entire logging of information as well as tracking the entire cost of doing the work. So in general, this process brings, as you see, I just updated the costing part by attaching a screw in that, and then of course attaching the additional labor charge. And both of the information got immediately updated here. And here it maintains the analogy of the work order. What it means, you open a work order, you finish it today, but there is a possibility that you may not finish all the items. If you don't have the air filter or air visa motion, I will need to defer this or postpone it. Right? And in that case, maintaining the story that why it is not being done, for additional notes, it always helps. And in that case, one could simply look at the remark and it gives them the entire flow. Or even in the future, they could always come back and check that how certain job was done, to see the issue coming back, or if there is a need to do the rework. So it's kind of very detailed flow in that sense. Now beyond that, I would talk about one more feature, which is the daily inspection. Now this feature is very exclusive and much powerful. Why we say that? Because this enables a complete information flowing. There is no gap. When your operator or driver, he has given the opportunity to do the everyday inspection, and at the end of inspection, when he submits the information, in real time the information comes back on the system. If they indicate any deviation, maybe a repair, replacement, it would be flagged here and one could see it. So how do we interpret it? For Monday, for the Monday, the operator or the excavator driver submitted that these items got issues. And that gave the opportunity to maintenance tech or supervisor to review the entire machinery. And if there are any issues, they could start planning. They could set a schedule of work order for job work. And they could schedule a more detailed inspection. Now this record keeping is maintained for the entire week. And at the end of the week, it generates a comprehensive PDF document. What it means, no additional information required. Just one report ensure that your machinery is maintained in the best health, and the operator, driver, technician, they all are connected together with that information. So if I open a sample report from here, this is the daily inspection report, and you can all go and check on the portal, HBI website. All these reports are there. If you look at the daily report, this is very thorough. For every day, for example, you want them pre-start checklist with these 10 items, in-cabin checks with these another 18 items, and then they get opportunity to put additional downtime and detailing. Right? So the entire week they would do this. At the end of the week, they could put additional tire pressure, the PSI. So overall health of the machinery is being collected. And this report stays in the system. So that ensures that your entire machinery, how it is doing. Right? It tells you visually that where are the concern items, and it helps to put up the break fix appointments, set up the schedules, and tune the process. If you are doing an inspection every 30 days or a job work, this report will help you analyze that, maybe if you do it like 25 days, you wouldn't get a break fix. The machine or the equipment would not break while on the job. So it's a very powerful report that's exclusively being supported by our portal, and it's a unique digital offering that we possibly can't have it on the paper-based. If you do the same thing on piece of paper, it's a little difficult because the information creator is different, and that the person who would act on this may have a different location, may have a different timing. But having the system platform, it just removes the barriers of distance. Your all remote staff, your back office, the people who are working from home, all the management, they all are connected with this information. And they all can utilize that information to do their part of the job. So I think in summary, this is how we kind of summarize that the platform gives a digital life to your machinery. It brings a life cycle where you could go 6 months back, 2 years back, and check everything done on that machine. What kind of work order is done, what kind of job was done. And it helps to overall bring down the maintenance cost. Over the period, you would realize that the schedules, as you would see them here, you will get through a process to fine-tune them and ensure that the machinery is maintained in the lowest possible cost and with the least on-job breakdowns. So I guess in that perspective, I would conclude the demo, and I highly encourage all of you to go ahead and sign up for a trial, experience yourself, and then reach us if you need help to understand it further or get going with a one-on-one demo. And that would, give us a possibility to explore what kind of benefit it brings to your business. And bringing this collaboration, we can help you estimate the ROI, that the effort, the change management you would put up to bring a technology, and in parallel, how much business benefit you can get, what kind of costing you could lower down on your overall maintenance cost, maybe empowering your operators, supervisors with much analytics information so they can take more informed decisions and timely action. So that will be the overall objective. I hope we attempted to bring value to your time, and certainly I want to thank you, all of you, and we do really appreciate your time. And we would certainly appreciate if you could provide any QA you have, question answers. I would be able to answer them now. If you have questions related to the demo or specific questions on the product part. And keep in mind any customization, because this is a standard industry flow. Fitting the need of your business, maybe some variations to it. And that is always the case, to adapt them and provide you more tailored solution that will benefit based on how you function in your business. You may not have fully ready workshop, you may have partial job work done, or you may be doing that with third parties, you would still do an inspection. So all of those possibilities being covered by the system, and that we can take on one-on-one discussions if you believe we need to be further discussing that. So that is all. I would say thanks again, and please let us know if you have any questions at this time. All right, then. I believe we still got 5 or 10 minutes, so I would give a moment. If you have any question, please put in the Q&A session. In your chat window, you will have that opportunity to put a question and answer there.